Hi guys, and welcome back to Sundays with Coach Shar. I am Shar, the business doula, here to talk to you today about intentional self-care. Okay, I know that's a big buzzword right now. Everybody's talking about self-care and boundaries, and it's important that we pay attention to these things because they are key components. The reason why it's coming up so often these days is because it does play a part in how we show up in our lives and in the lives for others. So it's imperative that we do exercise intentional self-care as opposed to responsive self-care. So let's get right into it, right? So when I say intentional self-care, what I'm saying is you intentionally setting aside time to care for yourself, as opposed to waiting until you're depleted, till you had enough, till people have pushed you to your limits, and then saying, you know what, forget it, no, I'm just taking a day. While that's great and that's effective, it's more important to have things in place to prevent us from getting to that point. By setting healthy boundaries and being okay with telling people no, we won't get to the point where we're just like so overly depleted that now we're ready to cut off the whole world, right? So a little bit about my story, right? I know, guys, look, I can relate, okay? Because self-care just sounds so cliche. I can get my hair done, my nails done, I'm self-cared, okay? Nah, it's a little bit deeper than that. If you are like me and you have the habit of maybe being a little bit of a people pleaser, like you struggle with telling people no because you want to show up and you want to be there, that can be a little bit difficult, right? And then when you do say no, you feel a little bit of guilt behind it, right? Well, I got news. When you say no, it's okay. They will find another way. They will figure it out. Everything is not riding on you and your yes. So practice your no, exercise your no ministry. No, I can't make it, and leave it at that. Sometimes you don't even need to explain your no. That's another thing that we kind of do. We have to have no with reason. So if you do need a reason, maybe say, no, this just doesn't fit what I'm trying to do at this time. No, it doesn't really fit into my schedule at this time. No, I'm not really available in that capacity at this time. Things like that. So not saying that, you have to be so no and then that's it, because I know that that's kind of hard to just be like no and then like the awkward silence, right? But just know, even if it's that type of situation and you're just like no, awkward silence, it'll pass. The silence will pass. It really will. It will be okay. So be comfortable in your no, stand in your no, and know that that's for you to create a nice boundary for yourself so that you're not overextending. Let our no's be no's and our yeses be yeses. And that actually is a form of self-care because you're putting yourself first and what you desire and what you want to do first. Another thing to consider. Well, what other ways like does self-care play a role in how I show up daily? If you are constantly run down, tired, overworked, just constantly running at 50%, that means only half of you is showing up. Okay. I read this one quote a while back. It was by Miguel, and he said, a calm mind is the ultimate weapon against your challenges. So relax. It was important to me because I'm one of those people who are like, I got all this going on, this, and I feel the need to show up and be there, even though I'm not 100%. So I can't appropriately show up to my challenges and show up for people and for things if my mind is not in a calm place. So taking that time that I need to find a quiet place, to just sit by myself and collect my own thoughts before rushing in to be able to save someone else or to help someone else is important. One of the ways that I kind of combat it, being able to make time for self-care, because I understand we're busy, very busy people. But I got up a little bit earlier, or I'll stay up a little later. The staying up late, I love the 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. hours because no one is bothering you. It's so quiet, it's so calm, and you're able to really like decompress from the entire day that you had. So those are kind of like my favorite hours to be up and to be thinking, and to just taking that time for myself, or even if it's just reading or if it's just journaling, whatever I need to do in that space. That's the time that I typically do it. Just because, your phone rings throughout the day, you're busy, you got this going on, your mom, your wife, your girlfriend, your friend, your sister, your brother, like you have a lot going on as it is. So being intentional about setting aside that time for just yourself, just to even just breathe, just to sit in silence, whatever that is, that's a form of self-care as well. How does it work, right? Like, when do I start? How can I implement it? You can start today. You don't have to wait. It doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out. You don't have to go take a class. You don't have to enroll in all these groups, although you can if that's something that you feel that's going to make you happy, make you better. But ultimately, it's just about you taking a moment for yourself. And start with just a moment. And then maybe a moment can turn into 30 minutes. And maybe 30 minutes can turn into an hour. And then before you know it, maybe you'll just have an entire day. Things that I do in my self-care time, as I mentioned before, I'll read, I'll journal, I'll plan. Sometimes I'll just sit in complete silence, meditate, pray, whatever I feel that I'm in need of. And then I also do these things kind of quarterly, which I'm, very blessed to be able to do so, where I just I do a staycation. I'll get a hotel. I'll take me, just some essentials, right? Take my little candles, make sure I have my music, and I'll just go to a hotel. It doesn't have to be anywhere far away. It could just be downtown in my city. And I'll just enjoy being in the hotel room by myself. Like, that's it. Like, just taking some time by myself, phone on D&D, do not disturb me. I am taking a moment just to replenish myself and just to make sure that I'm refreshing me and refilling my cup, so that way that I can show up in the right capacity for the others that I love and care about. Another thing that I did is I purchased a self-care planner. I know my friends, I told you, they talk about me because I have 1,000,001 planners, but in order for things to be intentional for me, I'm the type of person that I have to write it down. I have to be serious about it. I have to see it in writing. So for me, the self-care planner that I purchased is something that kind of helped me. This is just basically what it looks like, and it just goes in and it gives you, just the weekly, basically. And you say, when you're thinking about your schedule, be sure to plan out your self-care. You schedule everything else, put that in there. It's okay. Take that time, put that in there. And like I said, that it can be anything, whatever that is for you. I know one of my friends, one of the things that she does is she shuts down her phone on Mondays. Like, she doesn't take any calls. She doesn't do anything. Monday is just her day. Don't call, don't text. I'll get to you when I get to you. Because you need that time, right? Another one of my friends, they go bike riding. They'll go bike ride on the sea. And they'll just have the time to themselves to just meditate and to just let the breeze hit them and just to become one with themselves. That's it. It doesn't have to be anything super extravagant. It doesn't have to be anything overly, magnificent. It could just be a moment for yourself. So this week, I want you guys to be intentional about your self-care. Just start with taking maybe 10, 20 minutes to yourself, okay? That's not a lot of time. It really isn't. 10, 20 minutes to yourself, just to have a moment to just breathe, be calm, put your mind at rest, and figure out, okay, this is something that I just need, just a moment. Like, maybe even when you get up in the morning, don't be so quick to just get things started. Maybe take a second, pause, breathe, relax, and then start your day. Sometimes just starting off on a better foot is something that can help us, be more productive throughout the day. So please understand that self-care is definitely essential for productivity, because again, if you're only showing up at 50% capacity, how is it that you are able to really say that, oh, I'm being productive, when only 50% of you is present, right? So be sure that you are intentional this week about your self-care and taking a moment Like I said, just 1 day a week, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, but be intentional about taking that time for you. Okay, so hopefully next week when we get together, we'll be able to talk about it and you let me know what you did for your self-care. And you know what? I'm gonna let you know what I did this week, because I think I kind of been slipping a little bit in the area. So I'm gonna do it myself as well. So we'll touch base again next week here with Sundays with Shar. Hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Don't know who you're cheering for, but may the best team win. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Shar_the Business Doula, and also on Facebook at Shar the Business Doula. If you like videos like this and want to see more of it, feel free to like and subscribe below, and leave a comment. I love to interact. I love to talk to you guys. But best wishes, enjoy, and have a great week, guys.